Hello there, this is Retro Spirits Gaiden, and this is TAITO Legends on the PlayStation 2. So I have recently bought the PAL version of this disc, and it comes with potentially 20 or so TAITO games, he says with a questioning tone, because he hasn't counted them. And here is the Legends screen by Explosiv. Here is a logo forming itself out of a liquid metal in the Terminator 2 style. We have a space invader who's flagging us down because he's crashed his car on the cosmic highway. And here we have the option to choose between 50 and 60 Hertz. I'm playing this, as it happens, on an emulator. I don't own a PS2. I only own PS2 games. This game cost me £12 English from a popular online auction website, and we're going to go through all of the games to a greater or lesser extent. Let's try Battle Shark first. Battle Shark is a first-person shooter. I guess this was a light gun game in the arcade. I don't know, I never saw it in the arcade. But on here, it's a graphically intensive first-person shooter. There's a lot of fish involved. There's a coelacanth there. You basically shoot submarines with a crosshair. I'm imagining from the menu there that this was actually through a periscope on the arcade machine. It looked like the arcade machine was quite complicated. On here, you have a quite slow-moving reticle, and you can power up your guns, looks like, with rotating shots. It looks like the what they call submarines in the background can swerve around in 3 dimensions. And we've got a robot talking to us as well. This game's actually okay. I quite like this game. It's sort of doable. It's got nice audio visuals, lots of speech. Okay. Oh, I've got a very excited voice. Roger! Oh yes, I can do that! Alright, to get out of the game you press start and you bring up that menu and you quit. And it takes you back to the start game screen. And next to this we've got Bubble Bobble. Bubble Bobble is, and always will be, one of the greatest games from 1986. One of the greatest games, arcade games ever made. It's so detailed in terms of mechanics. It's got a perfect mixture of sound and graphics. It's just a lovely all-round brilliant game for 10p back in the day. And here it is on this disc. Now, regular viewer Davey K says that this game is screwed in 50 Hz. I haven't tried it in 50 Hz, I've only tried it in 60 because I'm emulating. But here it seems to be okay in 60 Hz, so on that advice, do not play 50 Hz mode. All these games actually, the dip switches, I guess they're emulated games, you start with a shit ton of lives. Every game gives you at least 5 lives. So in the arcade that I used to play Bubble Bobble in, you had 2 lives, so that's a dip switch setting. I'm sure you can get into those in the menus. Oh, give me some watermelon. I want some watermelon. Ah, tasty watermelon. There's a bit of a weird thing with the wrong sound effect there. Did you hear that? It was like the dizzy sound effect when you get hit. I have noticed a couple of bugs with these games actually. Not so much Bubble Bobble. Bubble Bobble. I can't say Bubble Bobble properly. It's like I've got a drunk mouth when I try and say it. 32,000 points. Are you having a giraffe? Oh, some grapes. Give me some grapes. Oh, lovely. Yeah, Bubble Bobble is very hard to say when you're trying to say it quickly. To get to perfect diction, you have to take your time. Level 5 always gives you the yellow sweetie, unless you do something really wrong. Lovely. Oh, ice cream sundaes. Oh, this game is beautiful. Anyway, Colony 7 is the next game on the disc. and it's a sort of shit version of Missile Command. Don't like it. Continental Circus is a game I had played in the arcade before. It's a Formula 1 themed racing game, and it's pretty good. Apart from the steering's a bit weird. So we've had, what have we had? We've had Battle Shark, which is okay, Above All, which is a classic, Colony 7, which is, I suggest you should avoid it, and Continental Circus, which is a weird name, but it is just a sprite-based Formula 1 style racing game in which you explode a lot. The arcade machine actually had a 3D effect, so you looked at the game through a pair of 3D kind of goggles, I guess. Well, in the arcade I used to play it in, it was like this. I think they were the shutter effect 3D goggles, so you could actually look at the game and it would look okay from outside of the goggles. Pretty effective as well from what I remember, but it was a expensive game to play. Oh man, the steering is weird on this game. If you hold one direction too long, the car will spin out, but they put you on these massively long corners. It's weird. That's me dead. Just hit a pumpkin there. Unbelievable. Yeah, that's good. Electric Yo-Yo, absolute coswallop. This is the most basic puzzle game ever made. Elevator action, also boring. The sequel is amazing. Elevator Action Returns. The original, no good. Exesis is a decent-ish horizontally scrolling shooter. It's a bit like Sidearms. It's like TAITO's version of Sidearms or Section Z, and it's alright. It looks like it features Gatchaman, or a Tatsunoko style armoured warrior, and you've got a bird that helps you, and you can turn into a spaceship, weirdly. Yeah, it's pretty good. We'll get some fun out of this. Quite like Exercises. Gladiator is another game that I remember playing back in the arcade in sort of the 80s, and only played it once or twice. It's actually better than I remember it. It's kind of, you've got 3 buttons. You've got hit high, hit middle, hit low. The character can crouch, and you raise your shield with a joystick. It's a bit weird initially, but actually it's not a bad little game. Quite like it. It's not a game I'd spend hours playing, but for 10 minutes, yeah, it's alright. If you hit the blue orb, you explode everything on screen. Weird. The music is horrible. Oh, and you use your sword to undress people, like I am undressing this man before your very eyes. I'm making him naked. I've just exposed his pants. Oh, I can see your skid marks. I've taken all of his shin armour off. Oh, look, he's got an exposed chest. Just stabbed him in the balls. That's right. I stabbed him in the balls. So it's a bit of a weird game. You get at the end of this level, and I don't think I got much further than this when I've played the game. You fight 3 people, and then the next level starts and you do the same thing all over again. Like I've exposed this man's torso and then stuck my mighty weapon into his guts. He didn't like that much. He didn't like that much. My shield is flashing at the moment. Oh, I've got to kill another one. It's like the triplets. This guy's got a pink sword though, so what that means I don't know. He's got a headband though, and that's offensive. I'm going to have to wipe the headband from his head successfully. He's wearing a boob tube. Right. I'm going to finish you by stabbing you in the head. No, I'm not. It's just like you can see my pants now. Oh man. This game is about undressing men. There we go, I did stab him in the head. Yes. Walking along a bit. Oh, another fight. This is a weird... The structure of this game is very odd. You can tell this is a lady. Blonde hair, pink armour. Back in the day, eh? Back in the day. I made a shield vibrate or colour cycle or something by hitting it repeatedly with my giant sword. Oh, I thought she killed me there. But no, I stabbed her in the guts. Great Swordsman is a very similar game with a similar button setup. Weirdly, you start on the right hand side of the screen as a player 1, which doesn't make any sense. But this is it's like the boss fight, but that's all you do. Jungle Hunt, jump from ropes, hit the floor if you miss a rope, jump into a river, fight some crocodiles. Yeah. New Zealand Story, a classic, and it's good on here as well. So there's a few games which I would say probably not worth your time. New Zealand Story isn't one of those, it's a good game. So do play this, even if the music is highly infuriating and repetitive. Reveal the secret warp. Ah, there it is. And then go and rescue the lady. Kiwi. I'm assuming it's a lady. I don't know if it is. It could be a dude. Ninja Kids. I don't like this game at all. It's a very simplistic hack and slash with unappealing characters. Sort of crappily drawn, I would say, characters. They're all sort of puppets. I think this is what they're supposed to be. So you can slice people in half and they're all puppety. Operation Thunderbolt is a classic game. There's no denying that.
Initiated. Rescue all hostages.
He's got a very haughty voice. It's fruity and tells you what you need to know. The only problem I've got with this game, and I'm going to have to look in the options menu, is the analog stick is way too sensitive. I can't control this bad boy in any way whatsoever on its default settings. This game also throws too many enemies at you for one player to contend with. So this is a much better two-player game. Just mowing down mofos like there's no tomorrow. Well, there's no tomorrow for these guys. They're going to end up 6 feet under, or in this case, lying on a road. You can shoot the dogs, you can shoot the little animals, and they give you they're full of ammunition, which is weird. Someone's like putting clips of ammo inside a dog in some sort of ammo smuggling ring. Crosshair's massive. It's a bit more forgiving than Operation Wolf actually, in terms of Crosshair versus picking up extra clips. Operation Wolf has exactly the same problem where your Crosshair is hyperactive, so you can't shoot anything accurately. It's just all over the place. There's no music on this game. I don't know if that's the same as the arcade machine. It's just the same 3 sound effects. Your gun, there's some music. The enemies crying because they're dead, and you picking up clips. Made contact with intelligence agent and obtained information. He's like a wrestling presenter. Oh, yeah, it's Operation Wolf. Same problems, like I said. This guy sounds more bored. You have sustained a lethal injury. Sorry, but you are finished here. Phoenix is a game I don't like. It's a classic. People talk about Phoenix. Well, some people that I work with talk about Phoenix. I find it shite, but you might enjoy Phoenix. Go figure. These sound effects, though, are sending me psychotic. Plotting is... Oh, this game is a big pile of shit. Avoid this one at all costs. Yeah, don't really want to talk about this. What you see here is what you do. It's boring. It's like a boring-ass puzzle game. It's worse than Columns, and I'm not a massive fan of Columns. Plum Pop, also shite. I think I've got this on the Egret too. It's a paddle game. It's not a good game. It's cute. I kind of like the visuals. I'll give it points for that. but the gameplay sucks. It's like Arkanoid, but with physics. Rainbow Project. Oh, this is Rainbow Islands, yes. No, this is a Stone Cold classic. No, this game does do something weird at the beginning, like this. It's kind of like, what the fuck's this about? It's judder and like musical freakery. I don't know. Let's quit and restart and see if it does it again the second time. There's a couple of games on here that don't start up properly, and this is one of them. I don't know why it's so juddery at the start. It might be because of the emulation, I don't know, but it only seems to happen on 2 games. It's this one, and the other one escapes me at the moment. That sound effect's wrong. This has got the original tunes on it, which is cool. Yeah, it's like it's running slow for the first 10 seconds of the game. It's weird. I don't know. Someone who's actually played this on hardware, tell me if this happens on that, because it's certainly off-putting in the game. But it is a quality arcade version. This actual version here on this disc appears to be much easier than the version I've got on the Mega Drive, or any other version of this game I've played. The enemy movement is much slower. Therefore, you may find this game much more fun. So it sort of stuttered there. But after the first round or so, it kind of fixes itself, so I don't know what's going on there. A joyful, fun platforming game. That's Rainbow Islands. I do like it. I like it a lot. Collect all the crystals, get your 1-ups. Ah, beautiful. I don't think 3 rainbows is the way to go. I think your optimum rainbow count is 2. Angry worm. See how slowly that worm was drifting down there, the screen there? On the Mega Drive, he kind of just comes straight down, like angrily, because he's an angry worm. Collect the goodies from the treasure chest. Oh, beautiful. Alright, Rastan, also a classic game. My love for Rastan has been documented in previous videos. And this version is a nicely emulated version of Rastan. We've got a giant statue in the background saying, "None shall pass." Classic tunes, simple but effective gameplay, and nice graphics. I do like a bit of Rastan, or Rastan Saga, depending on where you are in the world. This version also seems slightly easier than the one on Egret 2 Mini. Get the flaming sword. Oh yeah, they're going to be in trouble. They don't like flames at the Jaxie, but then who does? Oh, I love it when the music drops. It's beautiful. Just shot a Hydra up the arse, or a lion up the arse, with a flaming fireball. What are those things called? They're not Hydras, are they? And they're not... What are they called? There's a name for them. In Greek mythology, it's a thing. Snake, lion, goat. Should play Dungeons and Dragons more, it's probably in that. Oh, the bass is now kicking in. Oh, this music. Beautiful. Yep, I do like Rastan Saga. So, some quality games here, which 2 of which are uncontrollable at the moment. I do need to work out if there's some setting I can change to make Operation Wolf playable. It's a cool game, it's just not cool on this analog stick. Rastan is quality. Rainbow Islands is quality. Bubble Bobble is very cool. There he is, look, is that freaking wizard in the background again, or king? None shall pass. Return of the Invaders, not a game I enjoy. I got a level with you. And here we go, this is some weirdly stretched image. So there might be also a mode in the menu where you get this to be not stretched, because I'm feeling that this is a vertically oriented game stretched to fill a horizontal format. Don't care, because I don't really think I'm going to play much of this game. Space Gun is another take on Operation Morph, this time with aliens, literal xenomorphs again, and it's actually a little bit more playable than Thunderbolt or Wolf because the cursor doesn't fly around quite as quickly. So there we go. Space Invaders is a classic, as you well know. This is quite nicely represented here. I like the moon graphics, but it is classic Space Invaders, so it's not exactly exciting. Space Invaders Part 2, more of the same, except your invaders this time change colour as they come down the screen. I don't know why that is, but they do that. Super Kicks is boring. You basically draw lines and then it flood fills those lines with an image. So it's like a Photoshop tool, but in game form. Thunder Fox is the most batshit crazy game on this compilation, and it's one of the most batshit crazy games I think I've ever played. It's like a 80s action movie distilled into a video game, crossed with Ninja Warriors. You start with a knife, you slash every motherfucker in this town to shreds, for reasons I've never bothered to find out, and you pick up weapons, and you just kill everything, and you just drive vehicles, and just generally act like a semi-naked badass, really. Yeah, it's such a weird game. In terms of theme, and like the gameplay is very repetitive actually. Although it does change it up with different sort of scrolling shoot 'em up levels, etc. It's basically this. It's like so Ninja Warriors maybe crossed with Contra. Maybe that's a better way of thinking about it. The graphics are a bit, I would say, naive. There's lots of parallax scrolling, very repetitive sound effects. It's an arcade game after all. But yeah, what a crazy ass game this is. I kind of like it. There's a Mega Drive conversion of this, which I've never played. I think it might be on one of the mini consoles, Mega Drive mini consoles. I may have played it on there briefly, but it's not something that stuck with me. I just put it down as another kind of rubbish Ninja Warriors. But the game does expand in the next level and a couple of levels later into a horizontally scrolling shoot 'em up, which is quite fun. Tanks just shot me in the face. I'm going to slash this tank up with my knife. It doesn't seem to be doing anything, does it? The tank's got a skull on the side, look. Must be an evil tank. He's just dropped a grenade. Let's go and get the grenade. I think my knife's going to cut it here. I think I've probably got to pick the grenade up and throw the grenade. There we go. Lovely. Alright. Yeah, this is a brain-dead action game, which is actually quite fun. It just doesn't look or sound very good. So, yeah. Quite like this one. Because it's so stupid. He's going to get in his like little hover plane. He's going to fuck off. Look. How weird. Tokyo is a fucking rock hard vertically scrolling shooter. Now, I used to play this back in the arcade in 1986. 10p ago. I wasn't brilliant at it. But what it did have was a shooting system where you could change the formation of planes you collect to give you power-ups. And it was cool. There was lots of flying through cloud layers, which seemed cool at the time. It seems superfluous now. That was that boss. It's a really hard game, Tokyo. Very hard. This 2-bit is a cool puzzle game. I quite like this game. It's Pipe Mania against like Pipe Mania crossed with Tetris against the clock. It's kind of cool. It gets hard really quickly though, but it's groovy. Don't get me wrong, it's groovy. You got to be getting rid of these pipes, mate. There we go. Beautiful. Yep, cool game. Volfied is kicks again, but with more sprites. You can shoot shit with this in this game, I believe, and this was also converted to the Mega Drive. This is no good. I hate this game. And Zookeeper is the last game on the compilation. It's a weird game. This is the bonus round. I'm not showing the main game here, but I think this is Taito's attempt at a Donkey Kong type game. The main game is basically you running around in circles. It's not a good game. So there we go, that's TAITO Legends. There's a loads of classic games in there. For 12 quid, I think you're going to get fun out of that if you've got a PS2. So yeah, it's recommended. Alright then, my picks would be Bubble Bobble, Rashtan Saga, Thunder Fox. I think those are my... Oh, and maybe Tubit actually. And Rainbow Islands. Yeah, there's classics on here. It's worth 12 quid. Ta-ra!